back to Blackout, House of Bob's cyberpunk adventure set in the Vantal Megaplex, powered by the Sprawl RPG system.
Hi, I'm Cristina, and I'll be playing Olivia Crow, once a test subject for the R&D sector of MassCorp, now a low-level runner for the Gastown Sparks.
I'm Shubert. I'll be playing Bunk, the beat hacker.
I'm Dan. I'll be playing Tiz, the hard-nosed reporter tracking down corruption no matter the cost.
Hey, I'm Alex. I'll be playing the fixer, black market dealer, and conspiracy theorist, Garrett.
Blackout is made possible in part by listeners like you. To support the show, visit patreon.com/thehouseofbob. Roll on. In a modest suburban home, a young boy sits cross-legged on the carpeted floor, looking up at flashing images on the TV. The room is decorated in a somewhat tacky, pre-setback retro style, with occasional paintings depicting pre-flood West Coast landmarks. A man in a powder blue jumpsuit approaches one such painting, the Space Needle at sunset, and unceremoniously tears it off the wall. The man looks it over, shrugs, then tosses it into a bin on the back of a quadrupedal drone at his side. The man turns around, and we see one Collections, emblazoned in shimmering gold above the breast pocket of his uniform. The boy watches, scared, confused, and unsure of what to do, as the three other Collections agents, assisted by drones, begin to empty the home into a waiting truck. The boy trembles as first the couch, then his bed, then the kitchen table march out the front door in a distressing parade of domestic memories. His father's record collection is dumped into the bin with a single sweep of the first agent's arm before he moves on to the drawers in the kitchen. Something on the TV catches the boy's eye through stifled tears, and he turns back to see images of a throng of people holding signs and banners, protesting in a busy downtown block. The mass pushes up against the security barricade outside one headquarters like a dam ready to burst. The boy smiles weakly as he recognizes his mother and father in the crowd, chanting and holding a sign that reads, "The Omnicoin conversion is corporate subversion." Suddenly, chaos erupts with a burst of smoke and the sound of a gunshot. The crowd begins to scatter, but then the image goes black as the agent unplugs the TV and a drone begins pulling it away. The agent holds a pad towards the boy and hands him a stylus. "Sign here." Too frightened to think, the boy quickly and shakily writes Garrett on the pad, and the agent walks away, leaving Garrett alone in the barren room. Garrett sits in the empty silence for some time before feeling a weight in his pocket. He reaches in and pulls out his father's metal flip lighter. His mom always hated when he played with it, but his dad pretended not to notice when he pulled it from his bag before they left. He runs a finger over the engraving. People first. Decades later, we see Garrett in a dark capsule apartment, lit only by the glow of a dozen screens, filled with talking heads regurgitating the latest fake news propagated by the corpse. Garrett laughs quietly to himself, contemplating the fate of the foolish masses, knowing that only he and a few select others truly understand the world. He chuckles again, and we hear a small click and see a red flame as he flicks the lighter in his hand back and forth. During the last session, you successfully completed your extraction of Mirth Stiles from the grip of the Gastown Sparks, reunited her with her father and your former target-turned-client, Trip. Wasn't the cleanest job ever, but you all felt pretty good about the results. You helped some regular folks in need, screwed with a shitty gang's evil scheme, and screwed over a corp in the process.
They're not that bad.
Parts of them are pretty bad.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I introduced an important event at the end of last session, but before that, you had a bit of downtime after a successful mission completed. Last time we started with Garrett, so let's go to the other side of the table.
Hey!
Check in with Cristina and Olivia. First things first, all of you had enough experience to buy an advancement, sort of like leveling up. What did Olivia take? Which advancement did she take and why?
I decided for Olivia that I was going to bring up a stat, my style stat specifically, from -1 to 0. I think like last episode, I was really kind of pushing my way through, like even though everyone kind of wanted to say no to me, I kind of made it happen. And I feel like that kind of pushed it forward.
Yeah, you've actually done a lot of face-to-face talking and negotiating over the last couple missions, so that makes sense to me. On your advancement sheet there, mark off that +1 style, like cross it out of the list, because you can't pick it again.
Okay.
Bunk, what did you take?
I took steganography.
So this was one that we made up for you to kind of fit the beat hacker archetype. I think mechanically speaking, I need to go back and change the ruling or change the wording a bit, but ultimately it represents you being able to create hidden messages within your communications. So as long as you have the time to do so, you can create these hidden messages and it'll be harder to understand what it actually means.
Perfect.
Tis?
Tiz is going to get some cyberware installed. He feels like he's going to need some cybercoms, encrypted cybercoms. That's what he's thinking. So he wants to get that installed.
How did you get this cyberware?
I feel like Garrett would be able to hook me up with a guy.
Garrett already has encrypted cybercoms, so he has a guy.
Sweet.
For it. Yep.
So I'll contact Garrett's guy. Does yours work well? Like, if you had any issues with it?
We used it in like the second arc, and it didn't
I don't
backfire on
remember
us.
your head
it
blowing
worked okay.
up.
Yeah. So,
All good.
it's all good.
Yeah. I am a little worried, though, that this is the way like someone with cyberware acts.
That's offensive.
Yeah, they might have put something in his brain that makes him act the way he does.
Am I going to become like a Burn Knightley fan?
And maybe talk to the guy first and see what he's into, the installer.
That's true. Put some adware on it or something.
I think, between you and Garrett, I think you can find someone who will do it for you. There is a role for this. It's called Go Under the Knife. It's plus cred. So you're going to be spending 8 cred for the parts.
Yep.
And then you can choose to spend up to 2 more to get +1 or +2 on the roll.
Oh, nice. Sure. I'll spend the extra 2. I'll spend $10.
10 cred.
10
Goodness.
cred.
I give you guys too much cred.
Yeah. Don't worry, this will make me pretty poor again. All right, I want all you guys at my table holding my hand while I go under the knife.
Oh.
I'll play a soothing beat.
Garrett knows a good surgeon,
Acapella,
too.
please.
Okay.
Bop.
Yeah, you guys are my Hanson.
I bought a book called Augmented Reality, which has a bunch of cyberpunk random generators.
Nice. I'm worried.
Yeah. It's actually really cool. It's called Augmented Reality. It's by Peter Gallagher. I got it on Drive-Thru RPG. Either way, I rolled for first impressions for the doctor. And I got bleeding gums and bloodshot eyes.
Ooh, delicious.
Tasty.
Very bloody guy.
That just means he works hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he doesn't have time to take
yeah.
care of himself.
We don't actually know that that's his blood. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, he cuts people up, so it's bound to be It's bound to be a little bit of both, probably.
I think you get that impression that he hasn't stopped working in a week. Huge bags under his eyes, and he's kind of skittery, and he's got his tools, and they're shaking in his hand a little bit.
Should I come back tomorrow?
No, book's full tomorrow.
Damn it. Okay.
So why don't you roll 2d6 +2 because you spent the extra creds.
7.
The cyberware doesn't work as well as advertised. You choose one, either unreliable, substandard, hardware decay, or damaging. Unreliable is sometimes it doesn't work. When it works, but sometimes it doesn't. Substandard means it always works, but not as well as it should. Hardware decay means it's falling apart. It's eventually going to give up. And damaging means when it goes wrong, it can actually cause harm to you.
Zap your brain.
At least with substandard, it's like reliably bad.
Yeah. You're always going to crackle, but we'll hear you.
Let's let the dice decide.
Ooh.
That sounds fun. 2. It is substandard.
Cool.
And you can choose one other tag for it too. So either jamming or recording or satellite relay, something else.
Encrypted and jamming.
Sick.
Cool. Garrett, played by Alex.
That's me.
What advancement is Garrett taking?
Garrett decided to take Street Kingpin, so he gets 1 extra crew
Oh, cool.
because he felt like things could have gone better last time. It could have gone smoother. Maybe if he had a bigger crew.
I don't know if that's what it would solve the whole Joseph getting killed thing.
I thought you didn't trust anyone.
Is it a crew of therapists?
That'd be for the best.
They're like people who pop in and microwave my breakfast and
Right. Just personal
So a
assistants.
nanny.
Yeah, there's
just-
a couple of them. They take care of a couple things like my drug lab, and they broker some deals for me. But my new crew member is also going to go do some debt collection.
It gives you an extra crew for your hustling ability.
That's
right?
correct.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
which
sure.
I do in between missions.
Yeah,
So
cool. Yeah, we'll do that in a minute.
perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah, get your hustle and
So
flow
you just
on.
recruited a kid, basically.
No, he's got to be strong enough to
No, a
muscle.
big. The text says a big burly motherfucker.
Doesn't have to be, though.
A few burly looking fuckers, rather. Yeah.
Seems so crass.
Yeah, that's gross.
Oh,
Yeah.
The vapors.
You also have a bit of downtime in between these missions. So we're going to see what everybody got up to during that downtime. Again, we'll start with Olivia.
Hey.
We talked before about what some of you might want to do during this time. And Olivia, there was one major casualty during the last mission.
I know, R.I.P.
Which was bad luck, Betty, your van.
Yeah.
Bam-a-lamb.
Between being rear-ended, T-boned, and shot at.
Well, I was not driving.
Either way, you're not sure if the van is recoverable, but that van also had all your stuff in it.
Yeah.
After the mission, you did some snooping and found out that after the incident, your van was taken to a VPD impound lot. Pretty standard facility, small office, a lot in a garage, barbed wire fence with CCTV cameras at regular intervals, usually 3 or 4 guards and a handful of staff on the lot during worker hours.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to use a move in the game that we haven't used before, which is called Conduct an Operation. And basically, it just boils down all the preliminary stuff of a mission into one roll.
Oh.
So we're going to make one roll, and it'll determine how well the mission goes up until the final scene, which is where we'll jump in.
Okay.
So first, you describe what your plan is, who's helping you with it, if anybody. Yeah, kind of what your general game plan is.
I mean, I think a couple of people here should be jumping in to help.
Busy.
Maybe the guy who T-boned Betty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Garret and a Tiss, specifically.
All right, what are we going
I
to do?
wanted to save Betty.
You did. You were like, clear.
I wanted to save lives. And I did.
And you killed some people, too.
So I broke even, whatever.
Betty's the soul of this group. She is life.
Yeah, I could use a new van.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that new van needs to be filled up with my old stuff.
Like the van is destroyed.
Oh, yes.
So really,
We're getting your stuff. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
The stuff out of the van, yeah.
But we're going to have to do it kind of on the sly because we also did a whole bunch of illegal stuff.
was there anything in there really important, or was it more like incriminating?
I
Both.
lived in the van.
You like, yes, lived.
Yes, as in like all
Past
of my
Yeah,
stuff
if you call that living.
was in the van.
Right.
I
but-
did. Thank you.
Right. But that's just stuff. Like that's replaceable. Like bedroll. You know.
So
Tunic.
is this van wreck? It's in like an impound lot,
Yeah,
probably.
basically.
Yeah.
All right. So Garrett just got some new dudes that do debt collection. So maybe they've done debt collection for the guy at the impound lot. If I can use my contact card and get stuff from the van back.
Who's your contact?
The guy at the impound lot. Maybe my guys who collect debts have collect debts for the impound guy before. That makes sense, right? They're all debt collecty guys.
It's just a circle of debt collection.
Yeah, it's just, it's
Or they at least know the guy that works there or whatever. Yeah. I don't think you need to use your card, but I'll let you assist Olivia in this role for sure. So you have an inn, one of the employees that works at the impound lot.
Right.
Beyond that, what's your plan?
It was basically going to be break in, take stuff. It wasn't a good plan.
Oh, so I thought we were gonna do this kind of legit. I guess
it's hard to do.
They might be being watched.
You can stay
or
home.
something.
It's hard to do it legit because the fact that like the car was in an actual like major crime accident. So like I don't actually want to like.
Isn't a crime with like a gang? So I don't know.
gang crimes
Yeah.
where people got shot?
I'd say crush the car.
Should we take it to the crusher? That'd be cool.
I don't see how that's going to help.
How is that? Yeah,
Destroy
gonna get my
all the evidence.
Yeah,
Get
destroy
my
the
stuff
evidence. Get a
back.
new van.
You're trying to get the evidence back.
All right. I will rent a like U-Haul type vehicle,
Thank you.
and then we'll pull it up alongside, and we'll bring some
And I
fence
just-
cutters. And
I just think the guy that
Yeah,
Garrett knows
Garrett's
will just turn the other way.
Garrett's contact is going to accidentally leave the fence unlocked one night, and you guys are in your rented van are going to wheel up, and there is some security there overnight still, but you'll do your best to bypass that, and we'll see how it goes. So how about you roll plus edge? Garrett, you can roll to assist.
That's a 10 on my end.
That's good because Garrett's guy didn't come through. Garrett rolled 3.
Great.
Turns out he didn't actually unlock the fence. So you guys have to break it open.
But I found out the chains weren't just tied together.
He did what you instructed him to do, but you guys didn't realize that the cameras would be on that particular part of the fence at that time of night, something like that. But either way, Olivia figures out what to do. She's stolen cars before. Lots of stuff.
Yeah. That's like my major thing.
Yeah. So 10 plus, everything goes according to plan. You and your team are in perfect position to carry out the final element of the plan. The MC will describe the scene and present you with the opportunity to act.
Stuff.
Garrett, Tiss, and Olivia, you cut open a bit of the fence and you've timed the security cameras. You know where you'll be able to get in. And you sneak in. So you know there are still a couple guards that do occasional patrols, as well as you need to try to avoid the cameras. You can see the van on the far side of the lot. Where are you going from here?
All right, I turn off the lights on the U-Haul. And it's electric, so we just roll it real slow. Silent as the night.
Okay.
And then I go ass to ass. So I
Wait,
back
you
up
go ass to ass?
with the other van. U-Haul to van, ass to ass.
Okay.
And then I open up the doors, and then we open up the other doors, and then we can just like
Push it all
hurl
through.
stuff. Yeah, basically
Yeah.
just start chucking stuff.
Okay, and then we're getting the fuck out of
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, so I think we probably just need one roll then to either, I could see it either being cool to just act under pressure or assess, because you need to figure out what the security patrol's timing is, the pattern, and find the right route.
What's assess under? Edge. Also.
Yeah.
That's a 5.
If we both assist,
Yeah, you'd both have to assist to get it to a 7.
let's try.
How are you guys assisting first?
We're all in.
They're lookouts.
I'm looking constipated, so I'm trying to jam signals.
Do you want to say that in a non-terrible way?
I'm trying to jam the signals with my cybercom.
Cool.
Perfect.
What is Garrett looking constipated about?
That's just what he looks like. Yeah. Garrett is going to go around to the other side of the yard and whistle to try to get their attention.
Oh, you can be distraction. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll.
It's a 7.
7.
All right.
Oh, my
7 and
goodness.
7.
7, 7, 7.
7. You succeed in getting there. Garrett is running distraction, and some of the guards head over there, but he can only keep that distraction up for so long, and you don't have as much time as you expected, so you can't grab everything.
Yeah.
What's something that you have to leave behind?
Tis.
Bye, sucker. Maybe that new first aid kit I got.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Couldn't leave like a bedroll or something?
That is probably one of the bigger things, because it was like an EMT kit, so it's got the whole thing. It's mounted on the wall.
I
You
would
don't-
have needed everyone's help.
Yeah, you don't have time to actually unscrew it and get it out. So
All right.
you pull away with the majority of your stuff. You bid one final goodbye to Bad Luck Betty. You see the car cruncher in the corner,
Oh,
and you're
no.
like, you know what fate is ahead of it.
Yeah, and the headlights slowly fade.
Ow.
And you drive off. Anything else Olivia needs to do during this downtime?
I'm a little emotional.
Car shopping.
Yeah, I guess that is what it's going to be. Who's chipping in for a new car? Because I don't have that much money.
I'm down to 4 credits.
And you need at least one.
I'd be willing to part with 2.
Okay.
Same. Done.
Willing to part with 2.
Willing to part with 2.
You can part with more.
But Garrett's willing to part with 2.
I like to remind Garrett that he's the one that slammed the brakes and totaled my car.
It wasn't that nice of a car.
Says the guy who drove it basically all the time when I didn't want him to. We could each get a car for how much he has.
Yeah.
That's right.
Get us all a van. We should each have a cool van.
Like matching Mini
Garrett is an
Coopers. Like the
enterprising,
Italian job.
yeah.
an enterprising gentleman.
Yeah.
Well, I like how you say it wasn't that nice of a car. It only wasn't that nice of a car because you took apart the front panel.
Yeah. You crashed it.
Yep.
And I did bleed all over it that one time.
What do you want? Let's start with that. What are you going for?
I mean, I
Or
need
what's
to-
your budget?
Yeah, what's my budget? That's the
I
question.
want a tank.
What do I got to do to get you into this vehicle? Nondescript vehicle
that
today.
I'm making up right
Yeah.
now. I just want a new van, but more reinforced.
Okay.
2 bumpers.
Let's just see how much a regular
Like a
van costs.
steel cage, I was thinking.
Something like,
A roll cage? Yeah.
Yeah.
something bulletproof would be nice.
I
Put
don't.
phone books on the side.
That's what was in there. We had to leave that too.
No! It took 20 years to collect all of those.
You know, phone books don't exist anymore.
That's why it took so long.
Yeah, exactly.
There were phone tablets.
I think for if you want like a real used beater, we could probably go down to 2. If you want, like you said, a pretty decent vehicle with some mods, 4 cred. They put military vehicles at 8 cred. So if you want a tank, it's 8. If you want just a decent...
I could do 8 actually, because if they're actually giving me 4, then I only have to put in 4.
Well, very cool. So, well, I mean, tank is an example.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be an actual tank.
Let's go
want something a
roadworthy.
little bit more like covert, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's like a vehicle builder in the book here for the driver class. We can use that.
Mhm. Okay.
So instead of a van, it's like a Homeland Security van.
A hover Humvee.
You guys pitch together and buy a new van for Olivia to put her stuff into,
Yay.
as well as to, well, get you guys around town. Olivia, do you want to describe the vehicle to us quickly?
Yeah. So I ended up going kind of what I wanted, which was to get an armored SUV. That's one of the tags there. It's vintage and low-key nondescript, but it is a bit of a gas guzzler. That's the only thing. Or power guzzler, whatever we use in this timeline.
Human blood.
Oh, God.
It's a bit of a blood guzzler.
Yeah.
Well, we're leaving a lot of bodies behind, so it's okay.
Yeah.
It's a hybrid.
Tip them into the tank, you guys.
Takes gas and human blood.
Whichever comes first.
Whew. Cool. Good.
She's black, but she's got kind of like a cool, like purple stripe that goes down the middle.
Ooh.
Makes it go faster.
Racing stripe.
Yeah.
Good luck, Lila. Yeah, name to be determined.
TBD, yeah.
TBD. Bunk, what are you up to during your downtime?
He's actually going to go outside for once.
Ooh,
Yeah. He's going to go to the fashion district.
okay,
To the trendy area.
sure.
Going to get some new threads.
North of Van, which is where most of this campaign has taken place so far, there's an area called Holly North, which is the real trendy, fashionable, luxurious place where all the influencers are hanging out. So that sounds like that's where you'd want to go if you're looking for some of the latest trends.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'd still probably keep it on the more of the underground side.
Yeah. Great. So what are you looking for?
I've been wearing this big floppy toque, some nice green cybergoth dreads, a purple jacket over my armor. I'm just going to trade it in for like some nice like baggy sweatshirt and sweatpants. It's like a bright kind of orangey red with some black stripes, green stripes, yellow
Oh,
stripes.
it's very 80s.
Yeah.
Blocks of color on a
Yeah.
kind of jumpsuit.
Mhm.
Yeah, like a 80s sort
Yeah.
of hip hop jumpsuit.
Yeah, my last outfit wasn't popping enough. So this
Sure.
one's really popping.
Like, I feel like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air wore that at one point. Or
Oh,
another.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Just getting some swag ass new threads. That's about it.
Garrett, you have some hustling to do.
Yes, Garrett has some hustling to do. He has new guys. So he's doing 3 moves. Same 2 as last time. He's doing his like drug lab thing. They're going to manufacture some drugs. And then he has some guys who are going to do like some money laundering. And now he also has some guys that are doing debt collection. So there's some like burly fuckers who are going to go like collect some debts and repo some TVs and stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So that's one roll. And
That's right.
it is...
it's edge.
Okay, cool. So yeah, why don't you roll it?
8.
All right, so on an 8, one of the jobs is a disaster. You profit from the rest. Choose one of those 3 jobs that goes horribly wrong.
Fun.
Let's say that some stuff at the drug lab doesn't go well.
So the good news is your debt collection paid off. You gain a gear for the next mission.
1 gear, please.
Your brokering deals went great. You gain a cred.
Okay.
Your drug lab does not go as well. Something goes wrong for a user or for the lab itself.
I mean, last mission, I lost a bunch of my drugs in my back pocket
Yeah.
when they shattered. So yeah, some guys came to like pick up their usual supply and it was not ready.
Right. Yeah.
And they were not happy. And I wasn't even there to deal with it. One of my guys had to deal with it. So now my guy's not happy with me.
Maybe you lost some customers.
Yeah, it's possible.
yeah. I
It's
think
possible.
if not lost customers, a bit of bad rep for failing to complete this order.
Right.
Maybe gameplay, we could represent that as next time you roll this move, you get a -1 on it.
Ooh.
Does that sound fair?
That sounds tricky.
Don't worry. You'll be dead by then. We'll all be dead.
No,
I say 50% of us at least.
Ooh.
that sounds accurate.
I mean, it sounds like we're being hunted. So
Yeah.
Tis. Dan, we also talked about an operation that you might want to do during your downtime,
Mm-hmm.
which was to look in a bit more to whatever the Gastown Sparks were doing with these bodies. You did manage to hinder that particular operation, but you don't know what they were doing or why. And I think your journalistic curiosity is getting the better of you.
Yeah. So I'm going to call up Margot.
Mhm.
She was the girl whose brother went missing.
Just friend, but yeah.
Friend? Okay, friend. Yeah, right.
Yeah, she approached you in the body bag, asked you to help out because she knew you from your work on the daily download.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we're going to do the conduct an operation roll. So we're not going to go through every little bit of the process. So just give me your overall plan, what your tact is, what your approach is, who you're involving with it. Margot is one, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay. So I'm going to approach Margot and her friend. I know that when Rico was recovered, he was still wearing his headgear, the VR headgear. So I'm going to get that into the hands of some sort of professional. I still have a contact card. I don't know if I can still use that.
Who do you want? What are you looking for?
I'm just looking for someone who would know, like,
Oh, that's fine.
the
Let's not
ins
worry
and
about
outs
it.
of this
That-
technology.
Whether you find someone or not will be a result of the roll.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so I'm going to get into the hands just some techno junkie I know, and I want to see if there's anything like lasting damage from this that it could cause, or if there's anything more malicious in the programming or something along those lines. And then I'm not sure if I'd be able to trace where these people were ending up, but because we never actually got to see the final destination. But
No, you never saw the final destination, but you do have a couple other leads.
I know
You-
people who were going to the final
Yeah.
destination.
I assume you probably dumped this SUV afterwards, but for a while you had the
That's
Gastown
true.
Spark van. There might be information in there.
So I made note of the GPS, like,
Yeah, or you
or I
know,
look in frequent stops or something.
maybe there was a way bill in the glove compartment or something, right? You can
Mhm.
find some clues. Great. So you're going to investigate the headpiece itself through Margot and Rico, and you're going to investigate the end location via the van. And you also, like the doctor that was going to experiment on you and that kind of thing. So you can monster him or something like that to get the rest of the information you need.
Totally, I'll do that.
Cool. So let's roll conduct an operation, which is an edge roll, please.
Oh, boxcars.
Oh my goodness.
14.
Holy moly. Gee whiz. Everything goes according to plan. You and your team are in perfect position to carry out the final elements of the plan. The MC will describe the scene and present you with the opportunity to act.
Break it down for me.
You look at the cyberware that they had installed on Rico and Mirth and had attempted to install on you, and it confirms your previous suspicions that really it was just meant to completely knock someone out. It puts them in a catatonic state long enough that whatever nefarious thing they were planning to do, they can do.
Mm-hmm.
In the van, you find between the GPS coordinates and there's a waybill in the glove compartment that was signed off previously on a successful delivery. And you follow that trail and it leads you to a facility just outside of kind of the downtown area in Median. You follow the trail to this facility. It looks like just kind of a factory building. Doesn't look particularly guarded from the outside, but you don't know what to expect on the inside quite yet. What do you do from here?
I'm going to have to get inside. I'm going to have to record some stuff. And then I'm going to have to share it to the world. So I'll look for some sort of entry, maybe a rooftop hatch or something, or a ladder leading up to the top. I kind of want to definitely not go in the main door, not even probably the back door.
Sounds good. Let's do an edge then to assess the situation, find the right approach.
13.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm killing it. I like these days.
Cool. Yeah. No, I don't think it's a problem. You find a ladder up to the top and there's a little maintenance access up there. You follow it down. The main factory floor seems abandoned. Hasn't been any activity here in a while. You follow it further down to a basement level where there are kind of similar operation rooms like you saw in the body bag. And it doesn't look like there's a lot of activity here right now. You've come at an appropriate time thanks to your 13. And you do some snooping around on the computer system. And you find out these bodies are further processed here, and then they're taken to a MassCorp facility.
Can I find any like security tape footage?
Yeah, I think so.
I want to see what they're doing here.
You see people separated into rooms, and it seems like a lot of different things are being done to these people, but ultimately you see a variety of different experiments being taken place. Different bio mods installed and their results measured and recorded. Experiments
So
with...
it's like a black market testing facility or something. Yeah.
We, the audience, would find it familiar to some of the operations that we saw in Olivia's flashback. Yeah. So experiments with psychic connections and experiments with superhuman strength and agility and things of that nature. All these test subjects seem to be people they've kidnapped or acquired off the street that nobody will miss, they hope.
Some fucking shit.
God damn.
Okay. I'll make copies of these tapes and stuff. This is going to blow this whole place wide open.
I think you're effectively starting a story.
Yes.
What do you think the headline for this story is?
Underground, black market experiments being done on unsuspecting victims.
That's not
Make that,
clickbaity
yeah,
enough.
make that catchier.
Yeah.
More punny.
Mascorp is people.
Well, I know it's the Gastown Sparks. So I'm like, Gastown Sparks experimenting on people?
Gastown Sparks, more like Smashtown
Farts.
Schmarks.
Yeah, those are my favorite headlines in the newspaper.
I love it when they do that.
We'll workshop.
Yeah, I have an editor for a reason.
So we'll just put Mascorp / Sparks.
How about blowing up Gastown Sparks underground?
The spark that will ignite.
Yeah, something like that.
Your nightmares.
We'll workshop. For now, I'm going to put Mascorp experimentation.
Yeah. Who done it?
Mascorp.
Right.
Mascorp done it.
There's a story clock and a noise clock. Mascorp is going to try to cover up this story. If they fill the noise clock before you fill up the story clock,
Correct.
then they succeed. Otherwise, you succeed. So I'm going to give you 2 blocks on the story clock already because you got some convincing...
You got some actual footage.
Yeah, you got some actual footage there. And this will be something that you follow up with over time.
Okay.
I want to help because
Yeah.
fuck them.
That'll probably
That's
be
fucked up.
maybe a mission down the road, it sounds like. But you guys have a bit of information about it already.
Cool.
So let's get back to the main action. About a month after reuniting Trip and Mirth, after your downtime that we just played through, you were made aware of an announcement from EXE Gaming, a subsidiary of Epistle, and creators of the popular augmented reality, massively multiplayer bounty hunting game, whatever the acronym for that is, Skip Tracer.
Hang on. Let's
Let's
say
figure it
again.
out. Yeah.
What was it again?
ARMMBH.
Arm bugs.
Arm bugs.
Or it might just be like MMOs where people just call them like ARMMs or MMBHGs.
That seems longer. I like arm pugs.
Arm bugs.
I like an Armo.
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 A refresher on the announcement. EXE Gaming is proud to announce the next event for the Skip Tracer Grandmaster League. We've put together a rogues gallery of our most elusive and dangerous targets, with suitably extravagant bounties. This 2-week event is an opportunity for our players to separate themselves from the chaff and take a place amongst the greatest of the great. See below for event details and good hunting. Below, you see a list of a dozen or so targets, each with picture, name, and a point value. Amongst the top of the list, Garrett, Bunk, Tiss, and Olivia. 2,000 points each, 10,000 for all 4. Tune into the Trace for 24/7 coverage of this exciting event.
Uh-oh.
So you know what Epistle's plan here is. It's either that they'll be able to smoke you out with all their best hunters. Well, all the best hunters of playing this game.
Oh, no. Okay.
So
Sorry.
yeah, this different smoke you out.
Okay.
With all the best hunters in their game trying to track you down, they're going to put the pressure on you and maybe get some information about you. Best case for them is you might happen to meet an unfortunate accident during this game, which wouldn't be the first time this has happened, wouldn't be the last time. In the interest of transparency, I don't think there's really a legwork phase to this because
We're just in it.
yeah, exactly. It's just happening.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of jump ahead and just establish a scene. So in order to do that, I'm just going to ask each of your characters one question.
Do you feel lucky?
No.
No, Sonny.
And that'll kind of set up the scene that we are in to begin this little adventure. Let's start with Olivia. So my question for you is that in your time living on the streets and working with the Sparks, you know a lot of the safe spots in the city. Somewhere you can go to hide, lay low, Where do you guys go?
We're going to go out to the median and go under our own Gastown Spark version of witness protection.
Median is the area kind of in between where the Vancouver and Seattle metropoli met. So it's a lot of suburban and rural areas. There's farmland and factories and things like that, but also this suburbia, which it sounds like Olivia's going to try to blend in.
Yeah.
Tiss, with your investigative instincts, you know where to find the information you might need to put this group in a better position. What questions are you asking? Where are you finding the answers?
I'm going to look up the profiles of the top hunters.
Great.
I want to know how these people move. Maybe I'll look into their previous hunts, see their tactics and how they track people down and who they might be contacting amongst our group. Like for our contacts, who they'd be trying to get a hold of.
And where do you think you're going to get that information from, primarily?
So I talked to one of my journalist buddies at the Daily Download. He kind of gives me the gist of how hunters hunt. And then he puts me in contact with a retired hunter to give me the lowdown on what stuff they'll be trying to do to us.
Cool. I think we'll get the result of that information later. Garrett, you're obviously our contact guy. So who's someone that you're getting in touch with to help you out?
I'm going to be getting in touch with a former bounty hunter that I know.
Good.
To try to get some like tips, who to look out for and what might be coming my way and how to maybe do some old man fend for myself.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Do I use my contact card for that, or can I use my I know people? Or is this a freebie?
This is kind of a freebie.
It's a freebie.
Because we're doing, this is the entire legwork phase and condensed, right?
Okay.
Bunk, you're the resident hacker, electronics and network expert here. What network or system are you compromising, manipulating in order to give the team an advantage?
The hunters have their own chat system that they use to talk to each other and give each other tips and basically a big message board that is owned by the hunters company. So most of the hunters are using this to communicate with each other and get tips. If you're looking for where someone's location is, you look on the latest post on this message board. So I think I'm going to create a lot of bots that flood this message board with fake tips, essentially.
Awesome. That sounds great.
Big goal is to obviously create some realistic bots that don't get flagged immediately. I'm going to be putting some effort into making some very realistic acting bots here.
So they know the difference between traffic lights and cars when CAPTCHA comes up?
Oh, yes.
They're that advanced.
Wow.
Great. So Olivia's found you a place to hide. Garrett knows someone who can give you some tips. Tiss has got in contact with some people that know the business. And Bunk has started running some distractions. I really like the idea of we see a classic suburban street, white picket fence. We see
Tiss is pushing a lawnmower in the front lawn.
Tiss is pushing a lawnmower in the front lawn. The newspaper boy rides by and throws a newspaper into the street.
My hair's dyed blonde, by the way.
What was it before?
It was just black or brown.
Hey there, Michael. How's it going, neighbor?
Pretty good. How are you, Tony?
Let's find out in 2 weeks. Thanks for listening to The House of Bob. Artwork was created by Trevor, Cosmic Amazing on Instagram. Audio production is provided by Astronomic Audio. Music is produced by John R. Julius and licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution. If you like what you hear, be sure to subscribe for more content, give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, follow us on social media, and join our Discord server. Blackout is made possible by our amazing Patreon supporters: Ray Kearney, Tom Wesley, Rob, Bluckett12, Jessica, Kieran Duffy, Mike of the Tales from the Glass-Guarded World podcast, Sylvia Douglas, Luke Conroy, and Volt. If you'd like to be a part of making this podcast possible, please visit patreon.com/thehouseofbob.
Tony's doing good. He's fine.
Cliffhanger.
He pulls out a gun and shoots you.